So we have to combine it. Yeah.
So
Yeah, we can move on. So what do you want us to do to?
yes, you have to combine your minimum or maximum with if statement like this. And that's what you do.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start with trends, finding trends in data, right? Finding trends. Then we'll move from there. All right, let's talk about finding trends in data, right? So basically, um, so if you look at this data area, you see that we have order dates, we have revenue generated. So the order date is January 1st of January 2018 to 12th 31st 2018, right? And we have daily revenues for each of the years. That's about 366 days of data, right? Then we have the month, right? And we have the days of the week, right? So basically, right, remember that when we're doing average if, we said that we can use average if with average if is asking for average based on a particular criteria, right? So we now want to see that as well in this situation, right? How do you check for the average daily revenue for all the Mondays? Are you following me?
Yes.
Right. So in a year, of course, if we sort this data now, right, you see that we'll probably have about 52 Mondays. Let's filter. Sorry. Let's filter this column. You see that we would have about 52, should have about 52 Mondays inside of it. Right. 53 of them. Right.
Mm.
Right. So that's basic. So we want to say what is the total values generated by all the Mondays, right? That's basically what we want to do, right? Such that we want to, at the end of the day, basically see how much did the Mondays contribute, what day of the week do we make the highest sales, or what days of the week do we make the highest sales, right? And what percentage of orders do they contribute? Then what month of the year, or what month do we have the highest sales? Are you following me? Hello?
Okay, I can hear you. I can hear
Yes,
you.
I want to actually push this data to you so that you can use it.
I'll send it to me. That'll be good.
Well done. coming. Let me push it to you. Thank you. Let me know when you get it.
To the advanced order, right?
What is it?
To advanced order.
Yes.
I have a.
Hello?
No, yeah, I've not seen it
You
yet.
said? Okay.
I've not seen it.
Okay, okay.
And it says sent, right?
Yes. It might be network.
Let me go.
To
No,
drop.
don't worry. When I see, I have it on. I'll check it.
Okay.
So,
Have you seen it?
no, I haven't seen it.
Check again. You should drop. You should have dropped.
Send to Evans Iwere at Gmail, right?
Yes. All right. So we want to look at.
Did you send me anything at 6 in the morning?
What is it?
Okay. I've seen it now. It went to my spam.
All right. Oh, okay. All right.
You sent me some other things before, but they all went to my spam.
Ah. Oh, so you didn't get the assignment?
No, just a main and it went to my spam.
Wow.
At least now I'm saying, now I know.
All right. So we want to check for trends, right? We want to check for trends. And basically, we just want to see what is the contributions of all the Mondays, what's the contribution of all the Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursday, Fridays to the sales revenue generated um, across the year. So basically, right? So here now we're checking for average daily revenue made by each of these days. So we use average if, right? Average if. So average if is saying what are we looking at? What is our range? Now in this situation now, our range is our day of the week, right? Our day is our day of the week, right? And of course, let's anchor this. And what day of the week are we looking at? We're looking at F2, right, which is Monday, right? We're looking at F2. So we want it to go down the row, but stay on the column. So we're going to lock the column, which is all right. Then what data are we averaging with? So we're averaging with our B column. Are you following me? But,
Criteria.
right? So basically, from here now, it says that all the Mondays were able to just contribute 14,365. Make sense? All right. So if we double click, what do you say?
Yeah, let me try and see if I can do that Tuesday.
Okay. And you can actually hold on. What I want you to do is I want you to do for let me finish the day on. I want you to do for the months. Right? Are you there?
Yeah, my Excel is not allowing me to compute.
It's not allowing you to do what?
Allowing me to type anything.
I didn't get it.
Like my Excel is not allowing me to not allowing me to.
You can't work with it.
And I want to try it on this on my Mac. I'm trying it on the HP. It was not allowing me to type anything.
Oh.
Did you pay for your Excel also? Did you have to pay? Did they make you pay?
No. I didn't pay.
All right, I'll try it on my Mac. I'm sure it will work.
Hold on, I'm coming. I want to check for something. So, are you transferring it to your?
But my Mac is working.
Okay.
Mac is working. Okay. So let me try. You want me to do something, right?
Yes, I want you to do for the January to December.
Okay, January to December, right? Okay, let me try.
You can share your screen. Let me stop sharing my screen. You can share your screen.
I see it now.
Let me check. Not yet.
I see my screen.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, you can see the Excel page, right?
Yeah, not yet. Yes, I can see it now.
Okay. I don't know if it's on the Excel. I'm not sure. You can see the Excel, right? I don't know if it's just showing my desk.
Yes, I can see it now. Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me do this January one and see. So the one daily revenue. What did you get for yours? If it's correct. Huh? Can you hear me? Conversation. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hold on. Let me check. Average if this guy is down. coming equals to average if $3,370.
3,003. Yeah, that's the same I got. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, I can see your screen.
I got
So
3,370.
did you anchor it?
Yes, I anchored everything. I anchored everything. The first one I anchored was then when I go to
That's
the F11, you know the F11, the January.
yes,
I only anchored
yes,
the front, the F.
yes,
Is that
yes, I can see it. Yes, it's correct. So double click on that box around that
this
value.
one?
Yes, yes,
See,
awesome, awesome. Right. So basically, now remember that what we are trying to do is that we're trying to check for trends. Right. You can stop sharing. Let me share.
okay.
Well done. Well done.
I get that.
Right. So what we are looking for is a trend. So of course you can see, right, from the day of the week, you see that more sales is made on Monday, right? We have more sales
Yes.
made on Monday, right? But let's do this, right? Let's even see, let's see, um, let's insert a new sheet column, right? So we say some daily revenue, right?
But you just do the percentage of orders.
Yes, I'll show you. I'll show you. I want to first of all do this sum daily revenue, right? So sum daily revenue, we're going to change this to sum if.
I just saw you did the. I just saw you did the. What do you call it? This control shift enter. I didn't do control shift enter for my.
No, I didn't use
I
Control
did,
Shift Enter.
because I saw two bracket. Yeah, those curly bracket.
Okay, no, there's a mistake here. So sum if, yes, right? So total should be, let's see. All right. So that's the sum of all of them. And this is the average, of course. So this is divided, and average is, of course, this value divided by 53, right? Will give us this value. So to now get the sum, the average of, I mean, percentage of orders, right? Either you're using,
Yes.
let's use we're using average now. Average percentage of orders, sum, right? Percentage some percentage of orders. Right. So to get the average percentage of orders, basically, right, what you do is you take your G2, that is this value here. Are you following me? Right. See the formula G2 divided by the sum of G2 to G8. So you're dividing this by the total sum of
We get the average
everything.
percentage of orders.
Yes, average percentage of orders.
So to
So you're
get the average
taking,
percentage, you must add the
hmm?
sum first. You must
No,
add the sum first.
you are dividing the percentage order. That's in this situation I'm using G2, which is 14,365, divided by the total sum. The total sum is
Oh,
what,
okay.
sef? The average, the total sum of average is 70,000 620. So 14,365 divided by 7,620 will give you 20%. So 14,365 is 20% of 70,620.
Okay. Hmm.
Right? Can you see? It's still 20% here as well. We convert this to 20%. Sorry. So
Hmm.
approximately 21%, of course. Right? So basically what we are saying is that 17, so the total sum that is generated by Mondays, right? All the Mondays of the year is 761,337, right? The total value generated across the year is $3,668,614. So what we are saying presently is that Mondays, right, generated what? Based on the average, Monday generated 20s, and based on the sum, right, it generated 21, right? I think there's there's an approximation somewhere here. Let me see. Exactly. So this is what you have for both values, right? So basically that's how we say 20% and 21%, right? Which is close, plus or minus, right? So if you do this now, let's cascade this down. It should give us 100%. 72K. Why? I'm coming.
So
Hmm?
you do that. 100% what you did again. Copy them all them down. So,
All right. So just give me a minute. Let me solve. And 1%, right? 100%. Right. So basically, right, what you will discover is that what we are trying to see is that we're trying to see a trend either through the daily revenue, I mean the average daily revenue or the sum daily revenue, right? So basically, say that Mondays. So what it means is that this business sells more on Mondays. Can you see? Are you following me?
yeah.
They sell more on what? On Mondays, right?
Oh, the average price.
Followed by Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Most of their sales comes between Mondays to Thursdays. Then they have less sales on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you can see a trend there, right? You can see the trend. Are you following me? Right. So we can do the same here as well. If we do
The average percentage, you must get the average first.
what is it?
You can't just before you get that average percentage, you must get the average first.
For you to get what the average percentage, yes, you must have all the average values first.
That was like a shortcut formula or something.
F11. Right. So what do we see here? Right. Remember that, like I said, what we're looking for is the trend. So we can see that on both occasions of percentage, right? Of course, across all the values, right? You can see that there are more sales in Monday to Thursdays, right? Compared to what? Wednesdays to Fridays to what? To Sundays. And of course, if you look at it on this part here, we also see that there's a different trend here, right? There are more sales at the end of the year, the last quarter of the year compared to what? To the first quarter of the year. You see that the first quarter of the year, January, February, March, I have lower sales compared to compared to April, May, compared to July, August, September. So October, November, December as the highest sales, right? So we can basically see this in a visual, right? Let's see it visually.
Before you
Can you
continue,
hear me?
yeah, and I want to ask a question before you continue. You see the sum percentage, right? In the first one, you had some percentage, you had average percentage. You're saying that this
Yes.
percentage of orders, is this the sum you just used, this percentage of orders? Was that
For this
stripped?
one,
Yes.
this
Was
one,
that sum? Yes.
yes. Which one did I use? H11. Yes, I used some here.
Oh, okay. So next time, if one sees it, like, does it matter if you are you saying that the trend for the percentage of orders, whether it's the sum or using the average, you think will show you the same trend?
Yes, it will retain the same thing. This is some, right? Let's check, right? It should give us the same thing. This is some. If we check for average percentage of order, it should reflect the same thing, right? Which is equals to this value divided by sum this value to this value. Right? So you can see 2.8%, 3%, 3.7%, 4%, 3.5%. So basically, if you sum both of them, right, to give you 100 here, give you 100 here as well. Right? So you see that they are not far from each other. Right? The average, of course, the average is now the reason when you see values like this that are 0.2, 0.3, 0.5%. Of course, because of abbreviation, approximations and all of that. That is why they are not balancing up. Do you understand? But you can see that the trend is the same thing. Let's look at it, right? Let's see it. Let's see it visually. So we say all of this against, sorry, all of this against all of this. We'll come to insert.
Nice how you.
What do you say?
I was just looking how you copied, like how you highlighted the two and the stick.
Yes, once you highlight the first one, hold on. Once you highlight the first one, you click on your control button, then you highlight the second one. You hold it down, then you highlight the third one as well. Right, can you see? So this is the two charts. This is the chart for both of them. You see that they have the same progression. The first one is series one. Hold on. Let me label these charts very well.
That's series one. Closely aligned.
Yes, so you can see them. So the blue ones are the blue ones are the sum. The blue one, that's series one, is the sum order, and the pink one or the yellow one is the average order. So you can see that they are same pattern. Do you get? Almost the same accuracy, except for points like this, where, but this is closely related, right? The correlation between them is probably 0.99, right? Let's check. Let's see. That's a whole lot of. Don't worry, as your experience grows, you begin to see a whole lot of things that you can see. Like, let's check correlation basically, right? If I say equals to, we've not talked about correlation. I just wanted to show you something. If I say correlation between this guy and this guy, we'll talk about correlation maybe to, if possible, if we finish early today, right? I was like, I guess 0.99, right? 0.99%, right? Which means that they behave the same way. Can you see on the chart? They behave the same way. Hence, their correlation is what? It's actually approximately one. If we, it's approximately one. Can you see? Which means that the values are the same. The values are the same, right? The values are almost the same. Of course, there is error due to parallax, right? But 0.99 is approximately one. Do you understand? Can you replicate this in this chart?
Yeah, I can represent that.
All right. Yeah, give me 1 minute, please. I'm back.
Okay.
So were you able to generate it?
I thought you said I should wait for you before you come.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I was waiting for you. I was thinking that maybe you wanted to do something or ask me.
No. All right. Let me stop sharing so that you can share your screen and you can generate the chat.
Generate the same one, this January one, right? That you just did.
Yes, January against month of the year against some order and some percentage of order and average percentage order.
Okay, some percentage order and average percentage order. Right?
Can you share your screen?
Yeah, can you see it?
Yes, I can see it now. Yeah.
Okay. Average. All right.
You did not anchor it. To give you error. To give you a wrong answer.
I always have to remember that.
Yes, good. Awesome.
We didn't do some, but I think it's fine.
That's some if.
I didn't do something. You did something for your own, right?
Okay, I did something for my own, yes. Oh, okay, you didn't do the sum. Okay, that's fine. Just don't worry. Of course, you know what to do there.
Yeah, I know how to do something. Or like
and you will not be able to do the sum. You know that you don't have the value for it.
You have to do the sum if first, or
yeah, you can. If yes, you can do the sum if first.
All right, let me do.
Yes.
I can't remember. I don't know if this value was correct.
That's some.
That's some. It's not correct. Let me reduce the decimal places. Was that what your sum was? Just
my own is 104461. Is that the same value?
Yeah, 104.
Yes, it's correct. It's correct.
Then
so select everything and make it put the 1,000 comma there, so that your values can.
Thousands.
Yes, you use the. Can you see the comma beside your percentage? Just select all of them. Select all of them.
You want me to
Now, come to that number formatting under your, that one. No, yeah, you can use currency or
Oh, okay. Current. Let me use
yeah,
currency.
exactly.
Oh, but normally I could have put this as well.
Yes.
Pass down. What if I use? Okay, let me just try something. Let me just try something. Let me just see how this will work. That's correct, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 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 okay. Okay, I just want to. I want to
And
thank
you
you.
can now have the dollar sign in front of it if you want.
Now for the sum, it will be uncle. Basically the same thing. Was it?
Yep. Now you convert it to percentage. Click on the percentage, but yeah.
Yours was 3% too.
Yes.
Okay. Now just to draw the trend.
Mm-hmm.
So for this, no, sorry.
So what you're doing, you're selecting that, then control, select your sum.
Sorry. I think for this, for Mac, you press command. And this, and then this. I think we select this one too for yours.
Yes. Yes. Insert.
This one. This
And
one.
you're looking for, yeah, that one. No, not that one. The third one, the middle one, the one before that one that your line, yes, line charts, and then the
Yeah.
first option. Exactly. So you can see, so you can see the trend, right? You can see the trend. So there's a steady up rising in the data, right? So basically, right, to wrap up trend, there's something we call seasonality. You can stop sharing. Let me show you seasonality.
Okay. Let me start. Let me. Penalty, right?
Seasonality, yes.
When you, I think you can share your screen now if you want.
Is it not share? You can't see my screen. I'm sharing already.
Oh no, I can't see your screen. Are you sure it's sharing? It's not sharing.
Oh, okay.
The only thing about this line chart thing, I was going to say was sometimes when they're so close, it's very hard to know which one is which.
Yeah, that's why they have to be in different colors.
Hmm. If they're so
You-
close to that line, but there must be a way
It,
you can know. Like I'm sure they'll need.
basically, the legend is what you use, right? The legend is what you use. So if we increase this now,
Mhm,
right, you see that it becomes more conspicuous.
mhm. But there's no way if you press if you like right click, it won't still show you how to check in. Don't give it. It's
Nah,
just in case, like two values can be exactly the same, so then it'll be hard to.
that would be hard to distinguish them.
Yeah, once those two values are the same.
Well, basically, basically, it's just this legend that you use to distinguish them, right? So there's really nothing you can do to it because it's an image. There's really nothing you can, unless you want to darken it a little bit so that you can see the flow much better in the dark.
Incredible that you can't even.
You get. So this is what you have. Right? So now there's one thing I want to point out before we finish trade. So basically, you can see that Monday has more sales, right? So Monday is contributing 21%, Tuesday 16, Wednesday 16, then Thursday 19, then like that. But in terms of quarter, of course, we know that in this situation now, if we put the quarter, right? So all of this is quarter one, this is Q1, this is Q1, this is Q1, right? This is Q2, this is Q3. We have Q4. Right, right. So if we look at it now, right, we can now say what is the average that Q1 is putting into the sales, right? What is the total of Q1, right? What we want to really look at is what we call seasonality. So you want to know which season, right? What season contributing? Seasonality is that you're saying, so in the first quarter, right, this is how much we make. In the second quarter, this is how much we make. In the third quarter, this is how much we make. In the fourth quarter, this is how much we make. So of course, seasonality now has to do with you have to back test it with your data from last year, last 2 years, last 5 years, last 10 years to be able to see a trend, right? But in this situation, right, we don't have that data, but I just want to indicate seasonality to you. So seasonality basically is saying that the first quarter, right? If you want to calculate seasonality for the first quarter now, right? The first quarter is contributing the sum of this, hold on. Q1 is equals to sum Q1 divided by 3. Right? So Q1 is contributing 3.41%. Q2 equals to right 7% 6.87. Coming. So Q3, we say Q3 is sum right 10%. And Q4 is sum I'm coming. No, this is wrong. This is not correct. Let me see. Just give me a minute. Let me try something. I'm trying to times 3. Correct. Right. So, so basically, we're saying that this is what each of the quarter is contributing, right, to the total sales. Are you following me? Right. So, and this is the average. Sorry, average seasonality. Sorry.
I kind of missed this one a little bit. Let me see what you did. Let me see how you
No,
did that.
I'll explain it. Right. So basically, right, we're saying that this is the average. This is the average order for each of the months, right? This is the average order for each of the months, right? So these three, right? Let me just these three forms Q1, right? These three forms Q2, right? These three forms Q3,
Yes.
and this last three forms Q4, right? So already we are saying that now what is now the contribution of the total of Q1 to the sales of the year? Are you following me? What is the contribution of Q1? The average contribution of Q1 is 10% actually, right? It's 10% because here what I did to get this value is sum up these three values and divide it by 3 to get this value. So that's why we say average, but the seasonality, right? The actual seasonality is 10%. Are you following me? Hello?
You say the average seasonality is 10%.
No, the average seasonality
No, you
for
said
Q1 is 3.141.
yeah, you said the seasonality is 10%. How come?
Yes. So what we are saying is that to the 100%, right? Actually, look at it.
Yeah.
Basically, if you look at it, right? Let me explain this well so that you understand, right? And this is what organizations do to be able to know what to expect in a quarter, right? So basically, right? Basically, this is the total sales of the year. Are you following me?
Yes.
This value here is the total sales of the year, right? Hello?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you very well.
This is total sales of the year, right? And we're saying that to the total sales of the year, right? Was
Yeah.
right to this total sales of the year. What we are saying is that the Q1 contributes 10% of it. That is January, February, March contributes 10% of these total sales, right? What is the total sales? What's 10% of it? That 10% will be, what's the sum of all of this now? The sum of all of this is, can you see? 36934. 369, comma 394, right? Which is about 10% of this value. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay, so what you did was for that seasonality, right? You did the
Mm.
104 plus the 134 plus the 130 and divided by the 3.6 million.
Actually, look at it. The seasonality. Let me show you. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me do this. Right? So we are saying that 3 plus for the Q1, 3 plus 4 plus 3 will give you 10%.
Yes.
Right? 6 plus 7 is 13. 13 plus 7 is 20%.
Yes.
Right? 12 plus 8 is 28. 12 plus 8 is 20, then plus 9 is 29, which is approximately 30. This is actually a
Yes.
then we have This is 30 plus 10, which is 40, right? So the sum of each of these gives us the seasonality of that quarter. The average is this value divided by 3 will give us this. Do you understand? So what we are saying is, let me ID this so that maybe this is what is convincing us, right?
That's 10% divided by 3.
That's what the average is. Yes, exactly. Now, what we are now saying is that, right, to understand seasonality, right? Seasonality is saying that what is the contribution of the first quarter, the second quarter, and the third quarter, and the fourth quarter. So we're saying that of the total sum generated at the end of the year, the fourth quarter contributed 40% of it.
40% of that 3.6.
Yes. So if we say equals to this multiplied by 40%, right? That's what 1.458315. Can you see?
You sum that to
Yes,
value.
almost close, right? 1.466. This one's 458. This one is 466. Of course, adjusted values in terms of what's it called now? Approximations and all of that, right? So you are saying that. So what we are saying is that these three values, these 3 months contributed this amount from all of this. That is what we call seasonality.
But one thing I'm trying to understand, right, with this seasonality part, look at how you were saying before that this seasonality, this 10%, is 3 plus 4 plus 3. That's the 10%.
No, yes, that's the 10%. Yes, this is the first quarter, which is what gave us this. The second quarter gave us this. The third quarter gave us this. The fourth quarter gave us this.
Addition of all of them gave you that. Now,
yes.
When I look at the formula, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing L22 times 3. So
which one?
For the formula. Like if you put, you see it's L22.
And you know what I did? What I did was, now what I did initially was to calculate the average. What I did was to calculate the average. What's it called? Look at it now. Sum G11 to G13, J11 to J13 divided by 3. So what I did was sum all of these and divide it by 3 to get this value. So to now get this value, right, of course, because I divided it, if I multiply it to give me the corresponding value, I just flipped the mathematics. Basically, it's not anything special there.
And together, so basically that average seasonality is also that 10% divided by 3.
Yeah, exactly. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. So from seasonality now, you can now get the total. So imagine that we do not have these values now, and we have the total values, right, for the year, and we don't have the breakdown, right? We can now, and we have the seasonality percentage or the seasonality value for each of the quarter. We can know how much each quarter contributed to the sales. Do you understand? So this contributed 3.4. This contributed, 1.4. This contributed 1.1. Right? We can say this multiplied by 20%. This multiplied by 10%. Right? So if we sum everything now,
get that value, that 3.
Right? We should be able to get something close to what we have as our total value. Can you see? 3 point exactly. So basically, that is what seasonality now shows to us. So seasonality is telling us that our major sales comes from what? From the fourth quarter, followed by the third quarter, followed by the what? The second quarter, followed by the fourth quarter.
I see.
Do you understand?
Yeah, that makes sense. So seasonality is basically the same, is similar to trend. Like it's trend. It's basically trend.
It's actually trend, yes. It's a way to measure trend. It's one of the ways to measure trend.
So another question I want to ask you is like, you see how, like, is arranged here, like Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. In like another table, it may not be arranged that way. They may scatter it, right? They may scatter Q1. It may not be arranged like how you arrange it here. So
Well, what you would have in most cases is that, see, irrespective of whether how it comes, right? Of course, you know that this we're assuming that all of this is for a particular year, right?
yeah.
Well, most of the time, our data does not come prepared or does not come neat. So you have to be the one to clean it up, and so what it means is that if you have that situation, then there will be a date function that came with it that can help you distinguish each of the values from the year. Like, take for example, now all of this is 2018, right? If we add 2017, let's assume we add another 2019, 2020, right? You now have to use this date column to be able to specify or break them out gradually from 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 each value that they have. Do you understand what I'm saying? So because from this year, from actually this kind of values, when we get to date formats, I mean dates, working with dates, I'll show you how to do them. You can generate your year, your month, your day, your quarter, and all of that. You can generate them from this date format function. So because at that time, right, or in that kind of data, right, what you would have would just be dates, right? You will not have these two columns. Are you following me? If you don't have these two columns, let me hide these two columns, right? If you don't have these two columns, you can generate those two columns and more from the date column. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can generate all the necessary details that you need to generate in terms of date, either the day of the week, the month, the year, the quarter. You can generate it from a date like this.
Hello.
Yes, you can do
Okay, you said you can
equals
generate it
to
from that
year.
date. Okay, so you said you can generate
Listen,
it from the dates.
yes, you can generate all of that from this date. You can generate all of that from this date. We'll talk about all of that much later, right? When we get to date function, right? And we'll still talk about it when we get to visualization as well.
Okay. And just before you go, you see that column those columns you hid, right? You see you hid
Yes.
those.
Yes.
For example, like you're working, right? You may not know, like you may not know, you may just see. How is there any way you can, like, maybe there's any function or anything you can do to unhide any columns in case you know that, like, now I saw how you hid them. What if I just got the data I didn't see at all? Like, I didn't even see. Is there any way I could
Like, you
just
did know that there's an hidden column there.
yeah.
Yet usually if you pass through a data that has hidden columns, right? That's why you need to study. You will see that the thickness, basically, the only way to know is that you see that there's a thickness here that is abnormal.
Yeah.
All right, can you see? So when you see that thickness, then you know that something is hidden. Once you double click on it, or you just stretch it out, hold on. Right, one more. Right, it will expand everything that you have. You can also group your data by yourself. Come to data, and you come to group. You can group it. Can you see? Just like hiding it as well.
Sometimes the data may be very long.
Yes, so that's way. This is one way to group all of them. Or you want to hide them, you just group them. You select all of them. You select all the columns that is not needed, and you group them. Do you understand?
Yeah, very well.
Right. So it's as simple as that. Right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's basically trends, right? So you just want to be able to know the data, look at the data, right, and use the data to check for trends. Once you see a pattern, right, trend is a pattern that you are looking at in your data. So once you see the pattern, you want to use your data to understand the pattern. By just looking at this data that we have here, right, without analyzing it the way we have, right, we would not see any pattern. If you're just looking at these figures, right, you won't see any pattern there until when you now begin to check the sum, the percentage, the average percentage, and all of that, and seasonality and all of that. That is where you now begin to identify the patterns there, right? So that is how we know, that's how we follow trends, or that's how we identify trends in data. Make sense? Awesome. All right. Let's see again. I wanted to talk about let's talk about frequency distribution.
I'm just using it.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, I'm back.
All right. All right. So we want to look at frequency distribution, right? Frequency distribution. Basically, frequency distribution just helps us know how our data is distributed across bins, right? Across bins. That's basically what we want to know. How our data is distributed across bins, right? Now, take for example, we know the quantity and other value, the average, the minimum, the median, and the mode, right? You would have seen situations where let me see if I can. They call it the shape of your distribution, right? You want to know what your distribution looks like, right? What your distribution looks like. Let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about, right? Let me just explain it first. So we say maximum, right? Let's check for the maximum value. You will get it. Don't worry. Using the ordered value now, right? Maximum value in that situation. That's it. And the minimum value is equals to minimum right? So this is the minimum value. So if you look at it, our value, basically what this means is that our values are between let's say 150 to 2,500, right? 150 to 2,500. That is the range of our value. Of course, we have 180, but we're just given our lowest value is 180, our highest value is 240, right? So I want to know, basically, what we want to know is that since we know that the difference, if we say what's the difference between these two now, right? We say that our lowest value is 180, our highest value is what, 490, right? Beans basically we use, basically what we want to draw out here is an histogram, right? I don't know if you have heard about histogram before. What we want to draw out is an histogram. An histogram is a frequency chart, right? An histogram is a frequency chart. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, an histogram is a frequency chart. And this frequency chart basically shows us how many times a particular value or a set of values appear in a data set, right? So, for example, if I say, now in this situation now, you see that most of the values are not repetitive, right? So let me show you an example. If I say control, all of this, then I come to data analysis. I choose an histogram. So it's saying an input range in range. Hold on. Let me do something here. Let me see. Bin range is 500,000, 500, 2,000, 500. Right, so let's go back to analysis, data analysis, histogram, input range, data set, in range, right, output range, put my output here, and then chart output. All right, so this is an histogram of this data, right? Now, let me explain what this means. First of all, let me do something here. Okay. All right. So basically, right, this is what an histogram looks like. This is, at least this is how it looks like in textbooks, right? So what did we do here? What did I do? Right? So this is, like I said, histogram is a frequency chart, and it helps us know the number of it helps us know the shape of our distribution, and it's let me explain this way, right, so that you understand. I don't want to say plenty stories, right? So if you look at it, what we have is that we check that our lowest value is what is 1,000. Is what's called now 180, and our highest value is what is 2,490 from these lots of data, right? Now we know that if we plot this data, right, it will not make sense to us at the moment, right? Because the data are up and down, up and down, up and down, right? So how do we make sense of this data such that we can see what exactly is happening? right? We can see what exactly is happening, right? Hence, what we now did was that we now created what we call bins, right? Which is what I did here. Created what we call bins. Bins are a group of data, right? So I'm saying that group every data that is between 0 and 500 together. I want to know how many are they. How many values do I have that is between 0 and 500? Are you following me? Then I want to know how many data do I have that is between 500 and 1000. Then I want to know how many data do I have that is between 1000 and 1500. How many data do I have that is between 1500 and 2000? And how many data do I have that is between 2500, 2000 and 2500? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, those values you got, right? Those 2,500, 2,000.
Yes.
Min and max, right? That's the min and max value.
They are not the mean and max value. They are just, but what you see is that we generated them from the mean and max value. Right? It could also be, right? Let me show you. It could also be, let me delete that, right? Let me put this. Let me copy this. Let me paste this here, right? It could also be, I can say 100, 200, 300, 400. Let's see, few series. No. 100, 200. Right? We're going to 2,500. Right. So this is 100 to 2,500. Remember that the values that we want to use, the bins that we want to use must be able to encompass our minimum and maximum value. So when we're using 500 and what's it called to 2,500, our minimum and maximum value can be found inside of it. When I'm using 100 to 1,000 to 2,500, our minimum and maximum value could be found inside of it, right? So if I have this, I can now come to data analysis to say that I want to draw an histogram, right? I'm still using the same. So my bin range, I want to change my bin range now to something like this.
That was your bin range, right?
Yeah, yes. Sorry.
For everything, right?
This is my bin range. Right. Then my chart output, I want it to be here. Right. Then I want a chart for it. Okay. Now look at it. So what this is telling me is that from this analysis that I've just done, I do not have any value that is what? That is below, that is between 0 and 100. 0 of them. The frequency is the number of counts. Are you following me? Hello?
Hello, I can hear you. So that frequency, you copied every single thing from.
No. It generated this frequency by itself.
Huh.
I didn't generate this frequency. The analysis generated this frequency by itself. What I generated was these ones.
Yeah, I know.
Are you following me?
Yes. I know you generated those.
But what it did was that I used this as my bin. Now it's now looked at the data to see how many of these values fall within my bin range. Then it generated the frequency by itself. So it's saying that basically what it did was that it looked at my data and said, is there any value between 0 and 100? It said no. Is there any value between 100 and 200? It said I have one. Is there any value between 200 and 300? I have one. Is there any value between 300 and 400? I have two. Between 400 and 500, zero. Between 500 and 600, 2. Between 600 and 700, 2. Between 700 and 800, 3. Between 800 and 900, 2. 900 and 1001, 1100, and so on and so forth. Are you following me? Now, you now generated a chart for it as well. What do you say?
You also generated a chart for it. So.
Yes, it generated a chart for it. This is a chart for it. right? This is the chart for it. So you can see.
Analysis, right? Data
Eh?
that that's a histogram, right? It's from data analysis, right?
Yes, yes. Now, data analysis, you have to activate it on your system, right? You have to activate it. You are using a Mac, Abi.
But the HP now is working.
Okay, the HP is working. Okay. Now, click on File. Let me show you how to activate it. This file here, can you see?
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, click on it. Come to More Options. Click on Options. Then you have these Excel options. Do you have it?
Table data analysis, Power Pivot.
Hmm?
Yeah, if you go on data, right? If you go on data.
Do you have the data analysis?
Yeah, it says enable data analysis add-in. Power Pivot, Power View, and
Oh, you've seen add-in, Abi. Are you in add-in? Show me your screen. Let me see what you have.
no, I'm on the HP. I'm on.
Eh?
I'm on the other computer.
Oh, okay.
HP. I'm not on the Mac. I can do it
Okay,
on the
okay.
Mac. If you want me to do it on the Mac, I can do it on the
No, no, no. I was wondering what you were saying. I wanted to see what you were saying when you said. Do you have something like this on your screen? My screen. Can you see it?
Yes. On the HP, I have something exactly like a screen. Exactly.
Okay. So you go to add-in.
Add-in.
Add-ins. Click on add-ins. Not really, actually. Hold on.
When I saw it was when I went to data. I saw it there.
It's okay. You saw it inside of your data.
If you click data, you see what data is. Data.
Yes. Oh, you mean? Oh, you have the data analysis function there.
No, if you go on the file that you went to, well, that place you were in just now, that file, that option is
Uh-huh.
more.
More options.
If you click on data, can you see data? That's why I saw it. Enable data analysis add-in.
Enable data analysis.
I don't know.
No, that is not it.
Okay.
No, that's not it. Just go back to general. Go back to general, right? Then come to add-in. Now, under add-in, you will see manage Excel add-ins. Can you see it? Yes, click on go. Then you see these guys here. You see analysis 2-pack, analysis 2-pack VB. And so just select the analysis 2-pack and click OK.
Okay, I've seen it.
So if you click OK, if you go to your data, you see data analysis. Do you understand? Is that what you have?
Yes, I have data analysis now.
Awesome. Awesome. So inside of it is where you have several functions for data analysis inside of it.
Even on my Mac, on the Mac, I even got it as well.
You got it on the Mac as well.
Yeah, I got it on the Mac.
Awesome. So this is how to know the shape of your distribution. So you can now so to remove all the spaces, right? To remove all these spaces, in between, you can now right click on the bins and come to data, format data series, right? And we reduce the gap to 0. If we reduce the gap to 0, it will close. Hold on. right? So can reduce the gaps and all of that. But these gaps, right? Apparently, we can't remove these gaps because they are data gaps. We can't remove the gaps because they are data gaps. So for us to remove the data gaps, are you following me? For us to remove the date, these data gaps that you are saying, can you see 500? That's zero. That's the emptiness of that 500. Can you see? Where do we have zero again? Then we have a large gap between 1,700 and 2,000. Can you see? That's 1,700 to 2,000. Can you see? That's another gap. Then the next gap is 2,300. So to remove these data gaps, right, we now shrink. We have to shrink these what's it called now? These bins. We have to shrink the values of these bins. These bins that we have here is about 20, 25 bins, right? We have 25 bins here. Yeah, 25 bins. So we can shrink the bins to maybe 10 bins to 20 bins to 40 bins. Can shrink it to 10 bins to 5 bins. The 5 bin is what we did here. So we shrink it to 500, 1,000, 2,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, right? We can shrink it to say, let's say, 250, 500. Now this is 10, right? This is 10 bins. So if we choose this now and we go to that data analysis and we click on histogram and we go to bin range and we say this is our bin and we come here and we say we want our this year. We say okay.
Wait, before you put okay, first press start. Now I'm looking at that output range and output range.
Yes, output trend basically is saying where do you want the output to be stored. So you just click on a cell,
Okay.
then you click on output chart. Right, so this is the chart that we're talking about. This is the output range that you're talking about. So can you see now that we only have one gap now, which is 2,000, right? If you let us look at the chart for it, right? Can you see only 1,000? I mean only 2,000 because we have reduced the bins, right? So if we edit this now, we shrink this now. All right, so this is what we have. Can you see? So to remove this guy now, what do? We shrink it again. Do you understand?
So there's
Shrink it again.
You have to always create new.
What do you say?
You always have to create new beings. Shrink. You can't just edit it.
No. You have to create new bins. You can't just edit. You have to create new bins. Do you understand? So that is how to check for your frequency distribution. Right? So if we go now and say we want to use this guy now. So what do? Go to data analysis, histogram, click on that. Our bin range will now be this to this. And our output would be, let's put our output here. Let's say okay. All right, can you see? So what it's telling us is that we now, if you look at it now, right, between 250 and 500, we have 4 data on this particular one. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
But between 0 and 500, we still have the same number, 4. Between 500 and 1,000, how many do we have now?
Okay, I see. Because obviously
Do you understand? So between 500 and 1,000, we have 10. Can you see? So between 500, sorry, between 500 and 1,000, right? We have 14, right? Can you see? 6 plus 4, 6 plus 4 is 10. 3 plus 1 is 4, which is 14. Look at it. Between 500 and 1,000, we have 14 values.
Wait. I got confused. 1 second. If you see the okay, no. Yeah, 500 plus 500, 500 to 1,000 in this other. That's 14 values, right? You have 14 values there.
Yes, you have 14 values here.
But if you look at the other one,
It's still 14 values.
but 250. That's between 250 to 1,000.
Yes, now. You know that this one is between this value here, this one is between 0 and 500. So what you are saying is now, if you are looking at these two, you are saying between 0 and 1,000, we have 14 values.
0 and 1. Yeah.
You get so between 0 and 1,000 here, same 14 values.
I was getting confused that yeah. I was thinking it was 500 to 1,000.
No.
That makes sense.
Right? So that is frequency distribution. Frequency distribution. I think we should stop here today.
That was great.
Right. The next class will start from percentile. All right. Just want to look at percentile and we'll continue from there. We'll look at percentile. That's tomorrow, right? I have class tomorrow.
Yeah, you're free tomorrow, right?
Let me check. I should be. Let me check. Tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow is. Hello, can you hear me?
Tomorrow is Friday.
Tomorrow is Friday. Yes. Tomorrow is Friday. We can do. What time do you want us to do tomorrow? 12 is fine.
It's fine.
Eh? I can't hear you.
I said 12 is good. 12 is good.
Awesome. So we'll meet tomorrow by 12. All right. So I would look at assignments that we can do on all the ones that we've learned so far, and I'll share them with you.
What I'll try to do, I'll also try to the assignment since I just saw it.
Yes.
It was only the maths and main assignment, I'm sure you.
You saw, Abby?
Yeah, that's the only one you sent.
Yeah. That's the only one I sent, Abby. I remember I was supposed to send you one last class. I didn't know, I forgot. I'll put everything together. Did you get? Hello?
I said, yeah, whenever you send it, just let me know. I'll work on this
I will.
one.
I will. All right, bro. Thank you for coming.
Oh yeah, you can also let me have the link for the.
Yes, I would download